Avi.
Hi, Mark. Nice to meet you.
My pleasure. How you doing?
Good.
All right, so you sent me some pictures. This is the patio.
Yeah, we've had this Bluestone patio for about 3 years.
Okay.
And yeah, over the years, it's become discolored and stained, so I'm looking for ideas on the best way to clean it.
Okay, so first thing I notice is we have a lot of trees around the patio. That's probably what's causing a lot of the staining. You can look over here. I see a lot of mold, mildew. I do have some cleaners that we can use. I actually brought some equipment with me that has attachments, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to be able to clean this up just perfectly.
Great.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
let me show you what I have. Okay, Avi, these are our choices for cleaning the patio. First off is muriatic acid. It may not be a candidate. Why? Because it's probably too strong. That's why you see the gloves and the glasses and the long-handled brushes. Then we have vinegar. It's really specific to one stain that is common with masonry. That's called efflorescence. This is the bleach. This is the stuff that is most commonly used on the mold, the mildew, and the algae. And next to that is an all-purpose cleaner, which basically does everything that these three do and a little bit more.
Okay. And can these be used straight, or do they have to be diluted?
Okay, great question, because this muriatic acid is cut 5-to-1. I usually like to use a clear bucket. So when I say 5-to-1, I'll give you an inch of the muriatic acid, and then I'll give you 5 inches of water. That's the correct dilution to start with. The vinegar, almost the same thing. I don't cut it quite as much. It's actually a 3-to-1 ratio. So again, in my clear bucket, I have 1 inch of vinegar, then I add 3 inches of water to dilute it. Bleach is a different dilution. It might be that strong or it might be that weak depending on the stains. Over here, you have no dilution at all, and this actually works very, very quickly. They say it works in 30 seconds. And to be honest with you, I'm probably willing to give that a try, so.
Okay. And what about for pets and vegetation? Are they safe?
So no go with the muriatic acid. Going all the way back to the all-purpose cleaner, this is great because it considers the environment, the pets, and the people.
Great.
All right, so why don't you grab the bottle, I'll get the brush and the bucket, and we'll get going. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is move the patio furniture. The rain is our friend today because usually the next step is to hose down the patio and the surrounding landscape to dilute the cleaner and protect the nearby vegetation. All right, Avi, one thing we always have to remember before we get started, we're always gonna wanna do a test area. That way we can make sure the cleaner doesn't discolor the bluestone, ruining the entire patio. So I'm just gonna take my brush out of this bucket and I'm gonna spread a little bit of the solution onto the stone. With most of these cleaners, there's a dwell time, so we're gonna let this sit. This one happens to be very, very quick, so 30 seconds to a minute. This one contains bleach. I can smell that. I don't know if you can.
I can smell it, yeah.
All right, I like that because we know it's working. So that's dwelled for about a minute. And as you can see, the solution is already picking up the dirt. You can just check that out.
Yeah, I can see it coming off.
And you can see the reaction to it. So I'm just gonna spin this brush. Okay, Avi, so I think this has done its deal for the amount of time that we needed. Do we have a hose handy?
Yes.
All right, why don't we rinse this off? All right, great. Okay, Avi, this looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's go get the power washer.
Okay.
All right, Avi, so what I've done is I've taken our solution and I've put it in a spray bottle. It's gonna make it easier and it's gonna make it faster.
Okay.
So why don't you grab that spray bottle and just, you can almost start in place right there and do the whole patio. Okay, I like the way you're putting it on evenly.
Do I have to be careful with the composite?
So, great question, but just stay off as much as you can.
Okay.
Okay, Avi, as we let the solution take effect, next thing we're gonna do is power wash.
Okay. Are there any tips and tricks to power washing?
So I think every single homeowner should have a power washer in their arsenal. If you don't have one, they're easy to rent. But a thing that people get hung up on all the time when they start using a power wash is they have trouble regulating the pressure. So if you keep the pressure down, another thing that we're going to have to be careful about is you can see this joint right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that potentially can be blown out, and we don't want to do that. But before that, I actually have this great little attachment for the power washer that's going to help you regulate the water. As you can see, I have a double wand right here. You can see that hole right there. Another hole right there, that acts as the jet, that applies the pressure. On the outside ring of this dish, you can see a scrub brush. So as you go back and forth with the wand, you're gonna see that the stuff gets cleaned up very nicely.
Great.
All right, so very easily attached. If you wanna pull that back, this just slips in. You'll hear it lock in.
Yeah.
Now you're ready to go.
Okay.
Let the tool do the work.
Is that okay to leave the edges?
Yeah, do
Okay.
that, and then we'll come back and get a brush. All right, why don't we rinse this off?
Wow, Mark, this looks fantastic.
All right, Avi, I'm happy as heck. Came out great.
So now that it's done, I have a question about sealing. Do you recommend sealing?
So I'm not a huge sealer guy, and I'll tell you why. I love the concept. It does bring the color out. But as you can see, we have a rain day today, and the Bluestone does give you a pretty good grip. Unfortunately, once you apply a sealer, it's going to keep the water out. And in the wintertime, that water is going to beat up and turn to ice. That's when you may have a slip and fall. So
Got it.
for myself, as long as you stay with it and maintain it every spring, I think you're probably good to go.
Good. And what do you recommend for maintenance going forward?
So once a year, you might want to get the power washer out, hit this whole patio again, and you should be good to go.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right, Avi.
Okay. Take care.
There you go. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.